So this is Christian from the DC Virginia Tiny House Festival. We are here at the wrap-up. This is actually the part where they give out awards. So John Kernahan from United Tiny House Association is actually giving them out. So we're going to look in on this real quick.
For its accomplishments in the DIY category. Thank you. So why'd you name her Tomato Box?
Bit of a story there, naturally. So when I was a kid, we did a lot of traveling back and forth. We ended up with, through strange circumstances, 2 houses in 2 different states. So there was my mom traveling back and forth between the properties with 3 kids. So my dad was in one place and we still had to maintain the other. So how do you get 3 kids with 3 kids worth of stuff in one car for 2 weeks? So she got each one of us a tomato box and a duffel bag. And she said, the duffel bag's for your clothes, tomato box is for your stuff. And the first thing you do, first trip out, you put all your emotional items in the tomato box and you go, I got what I need. And then you're bored for 2 weeks. So you get back and you take it all out and you go, okay, maybe I could do this better. And after about 6 months or so of doing this, you get really, really good at figuring out what you really need. This is the same idea, it's just bigger.
So the winner of the DIY category, the duffel bag. I mean the tomato box. Okay, so next category. Conversion. Oh, okay, so this is best conversion. Conversion can be a school bus conversion, it can be a van conversion, it can be a box truck conversion, which is pretty cool. We had 1 box truck conversion at our Georgia Tiny House Festival. We have 2 this time. I'm starting to see more of these. We ran into a guy who had one at the Walmart in our hometown. He was just passing through. The thing was sick, crazy. He made this whole military kind of thing out of it. These box truck conversions are really cool looking. Where's Alex? I had the opportunity to see the inside of Alex. Finn and I were driving down the road, and we were driving down I-95, coming back from here. About 6 weeks ago, I guess, maybe 2 months ago. And he posted a thing saying he was somewhere in North Carolina, and we looked, and it was like 3 hours out of the way, or 2 hours out of the way, and we said, let's go. So we went and saw it, and that was my first box truck conversion that I was actually able to step inside of. And I was blown away. And Deke worked with you on that thing, didn't he? So yeah, could you imagine working with Deke on a build, how crazy that would be? Man, that would be sick. That would be really crazy. So for the conversion that we have, I'm really sorry, I can't read that. Oh, okay. Mike Fearer with Navigation Nowhere. There he is. Also, if you heard the announcement earlier today, he is the winner of the DIY Leather Speedo contest. But that's a whole nother thing, but you know, it was announced earlier, so. Oh, man. So Mike, the way we got to know Mike, when we did our New Jersey Tiny House Festival a year ago this weekend, this guy wanted to bring his bus out. Then all of a sudden he's reaching out to us, and I didn't know who he was. It's cool bus, yay! And then, it looks military green, awesome. And then he reached out to us and he said, hey, I'm going to do a news report or something, and can I mention the thing? And we were like, yeah, sure. And then we started looking into it, and we're like, holy crap, this guy's like this ultra bus conversion guy that's like, everybody's following him and all this stuff going on, and he took time out of his travels to come and hang with us for the weekend. And I kind of felt sorry for you because the lines were long in Jersey. They were folks in Jersey were starving, son, for tiny houses. They were like 80, 100 people deep. Yours was like 150, 200 people deep. It was crazy. And then it was pouring rain Friday morning, for 4 hours. Water was up to the top of your shoes because the fairground, and people were just standing there in line. That make a mess? Oh, really? Yeah, make a big mess in there?
Yeah, I was going to say my wood floor is still yet to recover from that incident, but yeah, so it's all good.
So then later in the weekend, I was going by or something, he invited me into his house, and I was blown away. I was just sort of like, And it's because of Mike. That's Mike's the reason why we're doing a bus conversion. Because the more I see his bus and the more I start meeting the other schoolie owners, and the more he talks about it, and the more he's like kind of like a little ringleader of schoolie people, like people like follow him. And it's I have come to realize two things about pulling a tiny house. I love my tiny house. I do not enjoy pulling my tiny house long distances. So we're doing a bus conversion. We got a 65 passenger. We just gutted her, and she's at the shop now because I decided before we invest into fixing her all up, we followed Mike's advice to make sure that everything inside of her is mechanically sound before we go and dump a bunch of money into her. And then, no, by the way, you need a new transmission, and then she sits in the yard for the next 6 months, 10 years or whatever. So Mike's an inspiration to us, and I know a lot of the people in the schoolie community look to Mike for inspiration, and kind of look at him as and I know this is embarrassing, you literally are a mentor to people. You're actually helping somebody do a bus conversion right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm building one up actually in Edmonton, Canada, so I'm actually flying out tomorrow. So yeah, I'm kind of running out of here, but yeah, it's been fun to just be a part of builds. And yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll do it again if you want. We can. Yeah, at the last festival we had 60-something people on my bus, and we just drove it around the fairgrounds, making a mess. And no cops showed up. They're maybe they'll stop us from the noise, but who knows? Yeah.
63.
So what did we have? We had 67, a can of soup, a dog, 2 dogs, a pig, Hillary from Hell's on Wheels, her little pig crusher, and a can of soup. So we need 70 people, 3 dogs, a guinea pig, and yeah. And then I need not a can of soup, but oh, Andrew, can you get me a bucket of poop? All right. So anyway, thanks a lot, Mike. We appreciate it. All right, so okay, here you go. And what's really cool about this one, this is, we call this Best Builder. And these are commercial builders, professional builders, the ones that are here that are showing their skills, selling houses. People can collaborate with them, contract and work with them in their houses. This one's kind of cool that this happened because this is DC's own local Sun. A very late-minute entrance. The owner of the company reached out to us days before the event and said, "Oh my God, I'm in DC. I got to be there." So I just gave away the whole secret of who won. So it's Peter or Joey with Humble House here. Yeah, Joey. Joey, the finder of lost Joeys. Our little lost boy yesterday. He came. I remember when I was announcing yesterday about the little boy missing. He comes running out of his house with the little boy. The little boy was sitting on a sofa the whole time. So yeah, it's so cool. So there you go, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. Okay, so finally, we've had a break in the repeat winning of the Best Collaborative. That's always by Method to No Madness. Ross and Sheena, where's Mike Bedslow? It's a tiny house Chattanooga build. And a builder collaboration is, I guess I can go and buy a house, so I just bought a house for a builder. Or like with our tiny firehouse, we worked with our builder. Finn designed it. Finn was there every day working on it. I mean, it was a team effort. The builder respected the homeowner, took their opinion for great value. The homeowner totally relied on the builder for his talent and expertise. It's like a true collaborative effort. The final product would not have happened without both being involved. Finn and I would not have that awesome house if it wasn't for the guys at Free Range. Free Range would never have been able to build that house if it wasn't for the fact Finn designed it and my super secret superhero talent of writing checks. So for the Best Collaborative, and this one's really cool. I'm really glad this happened. I know this guy. He has a tiny house community in my hometown of Sarasota, Florida. And the really cool thing about this guy, if anybody's collaborated with builders, he has collaborated with 8 or 9 builders for he has 14 houses down there in Sarasota in the tiny house community. He's doing another one out in Colorado. The guy doesn't build houses. He just collaborates with builders and makes them happen. And so y'all know Fred, the pink flamingo. It's really cool that Fred's here. First time I saw Fred was 1 year ago this weekend at the New Jersey Tiny House Festival. So Jeremy Ricci. Now the funny thing is Jeremy also tied in another category, so we had to have a flip off on that. So what's that? So there you go on that one. Awesome. So thanks a lot, man. Jeremy, okay, so Jeremy's Tiny House Community, Siesta Tiny House, Tiny House Siesta, tiny houses, and then there's like a manufactured home there that's all painted like a giant sea turtle. If you see the pictures of Finn and I jumping and being weird in front of the big giant mural of a sea turtle, that's at Jeremy's Siesta Beach Resort there. And now you're doing one in Colorado?
All right, everybody, that's it.
The close of the DC Virginia Tiny House Festival here in Manassas.
Yep.
This has been part of Tiny Houses Across America, the nationwide celebration of tiny living that took place here in California and Nebraska, and we're so happy that you guys all joined us this weekend. And if you miss any of the tours, any of the talks, any of the panel discussions, you can catch them in the video section of Tiny Houses Across America's Facebook page and on the United Tiny House Association's YouTube channel, and ours too.
Yep. So we appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye.